Hello guys, today I'm going to do a video on Forspoken with the Steam Deck. We're going to be starting it off with 800p on the lowest settings. Alright, here we are in display and playing the game at 800p. Going to disable VSync, even though FPS isn't going to be anywhere near that. And then graphics on the low preset, no FSR. And render resolution looking good. Okay, it looks good. Here we go. Let's jump into it and see what we can get. Look at this. Look how bad the game looks. The low settings with the low resolution, look at the trees. Oh my god, this looks so bad. You know, at least at the high settings or standard settings, the game looks pretty decent, but oh my, this is not playable so far. Alright, I'll keep going and then we can try out FSR and try out different presets. And I'll come back here again because the foliage is very intensive and I want to see the trees actually improve as well. This game is far more GPU intensive than it is CPU intensive, so pushing up to the medium settings will just make things worse, but we need some quality, so I'm going to do it anyway. You can't even see the effects of the spells on the low settings. It looks just, I don't know, it looks pretty bad. Not stuttering at least, it's running decently well in this area. FPS is sitting in the mid 20s. The stuttering is actually kicking in now. This guy is really dumb. I'm just walking around him in a circle and he doesn't even know it. That was very intensive. Look at that, 18 FPS for a second. Let's do it again. Oh my god. Let's do it again. I'm probably out of mana actually. Maybe I can't do it. So playing the game at the low settings without any sort of upscaler is pretty unplayable. There are some sections where it becomes playable, but I think for the most part on average, you're going to be sitting in the mid 20s. Game's going to be stuttering as well. So I think for most people, this is not going to be playable. Alright, now using quality FSR, FPS is sitting in the low 40s. Quite nice. I think we were sitting in the mid 30s at this point without FSR. And looking at the quality of the game, it looks pretty much the same as native 800p. Maybe the hair looks a bit weird, but that's normal with FSR, so I'm not really surprised. But other than that, it's looking pretty decent. Once we start moving quickly, the game just starts losing its mind. Look at this. 22 FPS was the lowest. CPU is getting actually cranked up to 99%. GPU is at 99% as well. We're getting power limited, it looks like. Oh, got an achievement. Look at that, 7 watts on the CPU and 5 watts on the GPU. So I guess not entirely power limited, but oh. Alright, quality FSR doesn't really improve our performance too much. We get like 5 FPS around there. So, pushing it up to balance mode. This should look very similar to the quality preset with a couple of extra frames as a bonus. At this point, we're just trying to reduce the GPU load so we can have more power for the CPU because the clocks are pretty down on the CPU side. It's sitting at 2.5 GHz and the Steam Deck CPU can go up to 3.5 GHz. So we have plenty of headroom there, we just don't have the power for it. The problem with this game so far is the running. When you start running, the game will start stuttering like crazy. So let's go and test it out. I want to start running quickly. Moving around. As you can see, the frame rate graph is going crazy right now. This is so intensive. There we go, kill this guy. Oh my god, as soon as the fire comes out, the stuttering becomes just too much. Okay, playing the game at the medium settings now. We're going to disable dynamic resolution. But here we are with the standard settings. Pretty bad. 14 FPS on average with occasional dips into, I guess, the low 10s. Man, this is not running well at all with medium settings. I kind of saw this coming. We were struggling at the low settings, so pushing it up to the medium preset will make it more GPU intensive. And it was already getting bottlenecked before, so FPS will become far worse. But the trees actually look good. Look at those trees. Wow, they actually look like normal trees now instead of, I guess, blobs that they were before. Alright, we're getting 15 FPS in this area, up to 17 FPS. So we gained what, like 4 FPS from what we had before. It's not really helping us too much. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and enable FSR. We're gonna skip past quality and go straight to balance. The quality between the two looks very similar, so that's why I'm skipping it. But let's see what we can get. 24 FPS from what, like 13 to 14 FPS? That's a 10 FPS increase. The game is not a slideshow anymore, it's like a movie running at 20 FPS or 24 FPS. So if you still like this game and you want to try it out, there's a demo on the store page, so install that before actually buying it. The game is already very expensive, so you know, like buying it and playing it for 2 hours and you can't refund it, it'll be a whole lot of pain. So just get a demo, try it out, see if you like it, see if you can actually play the game properly, and see if the FPS drops will annoy you. If they don't, then I guess you can buy the game and play it through. Now we went from getting like 14 FPS to 20 to 24 FPS with Balanced FSR. Now using the Performance FSR mode, hopefully we can get a stable 24 FPS. And I don't know about the quality, but we'll see as we go. Look at that, man. The image is actually smearing at this point. Yeah. Guys, medium settings is not even viable at all. We're kind of forced into using the lowest preset, and even then we can't hold a stable 30 with FSR enabled. And at this point, there's not really much point in us testing out the high preset. The deck is struggling to run at medium settings with FSR enabled, so pushing it up to the high settings will just kill the deck. Okay, you know what? I'll play the game for like 30 seconds just so we can see what FPS we get at high settings, but I won't spend too much time on it. The game reset itself. It's playing the game at 720p right now, but FPS shouldn't be affected too much anyway. But we're playing the game at the high preset. Here we are with that, no FSR. We're getting 14 FPS in the menu, so just imagine what we're going to be getting in the actual game. I won't spend too much time on this, as I said before, because there's no way we can actually save this. The quality looks pretty good when I'm standing still. It would look good for screenshots, but we're getting pretty close to single digit FPS. Look at that. The poor Steam Deck, man. I'm just actually torturing mine for this video. I'm not feeling good about this. So although I'm going to skip the dock settings, I will be testing out the SD card settings. So if you're still interested in playing this game, you will see how it will perform on the SD card. For this part of the video, I'm going to be going over the SD card performance. I'm using a SanDisk Ultra as well. And I'm going to be testing out and seeing if there's going to be any load times or any stuttering or lagging due to the SD card. This game recommends you to use an SSD. And as you're about to see, the game will pause and load as you're running around the map. And you got to wait for it to load again as you're already playing. So although the FPS is the same as the SSD, there'll be times where the game has to pause and load again during gameplay. But for this game, I think it's best to use an SSD over an SD card. Alright, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the RTX 3060 Ti in Forspoken. See you guys there.
Okay, this is awesome. I am catching some serious air.
Very impressive. Just try not to catch some air into a seriously...
I could run like the wind.